Lesson 8.3 on page 315 of your big book is model and solve addition equations. So our essential question is, how can you use models to solve addition equations? So we have our little X tiles, and hopefully you guys have your own. This is an X tile, and we have our little 1 tiles. So those represent numbers. These represent variables. All right. Math board. So we need a math board on our algebra tiles, which hopefully you have. If not, just follow along. Thomas has $2. He wants to buy a poster that costs $7. Model and solve the equation x plus 2 equals 7 to find the amount x. This right here, he wants to solve for this x right here that Thomas needs to save in order to buy his poster. So we're going to draw 2 rectangles on our math board to represent the 2 sides of the equation. We're going to use algebra tiles to model the equation. We're going to model x plus 2 on the left and 7 on the right of the in the right rectangle. All right, so that's going to look like this. So first we need to draw just two boxes to model our x. So we have an x. So my boxes should have been bigger. Okay, and then we need 2 1s. So we have x plus 2. So this is x plus 2 on this side. The green is our x, our variable, and then we have 2 1s equals 7 over here. All right, so I need 7 1s. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we've got our x plus 2 equals 7. Let's see, what do we need to do next? So what type of tiles and number tiles and number of tiles did you use to model? So we used 1 algebra tile, and 9 1 tiles, right? Because we had 2 over here and 7 more over here. To solve the equation, get the x by itself on one side. That's the goal of algebra always, is isolate the variable. We use this. Isolate means by itself. Those are synonyms. Isolate the variable. We're trying to get it by itself. If you remove a tile from one side, you can keep the 2 sides equal by removing the same type of tile from the other side. So remember our scale that had to stay in balance. So if I take 1 away from over here, I have to take 1 away from over here also. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side in order to keep it in balance. Otherwise it's going to tip and not be in balance anymore. Okay, so then I want to get this x tile all by itself. That's the goal. So I take another 1 away, but I have to take 1 away here also. So what does x equal? Now that it's all by itself, what does it equal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's think about that. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Is that right? It is right. So we did it correctly. Now let's see how they want us to record it. So how many 1 tiles did you need to remove from each side to get the x by itself on the left side. So in order to get the x all by itself, we had to take away 2. Remember, it used to be x plus 2 equals 7, and now it's just x equals 5. So we took 2 away from both sides in order to get x by itself. When the x tile is by itself on the left side, how many 1 tiles are remaining on the right side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 left. Write the solution to the equation. So the solution is x equals 5, right? X, this green tile, equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Thomas needs to save $5 in order to buy the poster. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Okay, so use appropriate tools. Describe how you could use your model to check your solution. So one way that we could do this is we could use algebra tiles to model the equation. Use our algebra tiles that we just used. To model the equation. Then we would replace the x tile with 5 1 tiles. And I'll show you how that works. Replace the x tile with 5 1 tiles. Okay, so let's try that. So instead of having this green x tile, let's go back and we're going to set it up the way it was in the beginning. X plus 2 equals 7. So what if I replace this with 5? That's our solution, right? Was 5? Let's see if we take that away and we replace it, whoops, with 1 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does it work? Instead of having this x tile here, we have 5 1 tiles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It does work. So if we replace the x tile with 5 1 tiles, it should still be equal. So it should equal the right side. Of the equation, and it does. Okay, so now they want us to use words. How could you use algebra tiles to model x plus 4 equals 8? So I would use an x tile and 4 1 tiles on the left and 8 1 tiles on the right. Okay, so let me do it for you. Okay, so x plus 4 equals 8. So we need 4 on this side. We need 8 on this side. So let's change this. This is x plus 4 equals 8. All right. Well, we don't have our x yet, do we? So here we go. We've got x plus 4 equals 8. That's what it would look like. X plus 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we wanted to solve it, all we would have to do is for every one tile we take away from the x, because we want to isolate our variable, get this x by itself, we would also take one away from the 8 to keep it in balance, to keep the equation in balance. Okay. So I took 4 away from this side, 4 away from this side, so x equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? 4 plus 4 equals 8? Yeah, it does make sense. All right. What would you do to solve this equation without using a model? So how could you do that without using a model? So we figured out that we're just taking for one or however many tiles are next to the x, we're just taking those away, aren't we? We're essentially subtracting them. Could I just do that here? Could I just subtract 9 from this side, and then I'd also have to subtract 9 from this side? So if I did that, I subtract 9 and subtract 9, what then would x equal? 12 minus 9 is 3. Let's think about that. 3 plus 9 equals 12. So the solution does work. So I could subtract 9. I've written right in the middle of where I should be writing our little x equals 3. Can I move it up here? X equals 3. So I'll just write underneath it. From both sides of the equation. All right, let's keep going. You can solve an equation by drawing a model. So if you don't have your little X tiles with you, you went home from school, you may have had the tiles with you in the lesson, but now you have to just do it without the tiles because you went home and you're doing your homework. All right, so you can solve an equation by drawing a model to represent algebra tiles. Let a rectangle represent the variable. In other words, one of these long ones, that would be our variable x. Let a small square equal a 1. So now we're going to model this equation. So we have x plus 3 equals 7. So we have x plus 3. So 3 little 1 tiles there equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of those are 1s. Okay, from now on I'm just going to draw a straight line to represent my 1s just to be fast. All right, so now we need to get the variable by itself. Your algebra teachers are going to say isolate the variable, so get used to that word, on one side of the model by doing the same thing to both sides. So we're going to cross out 3 squares on the left side. So we also have to cross out, not on the screen, there we go, 3 sides on the 3 x's, or 3 squares, pardon me, on the right side. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to redraw our little model again. There's an x, 1, 2, 3 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are all 1s. So I'm going to cross out these 3 because I have to get rid of them. I have to get the variable all by itself. So now I've got to cross out 3 over here. So now I draw a model of the solution. I still have that x. I got rid of these. They're gone now. Equals, I got rid of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones. So what does x equal? X equals 4. Does that make sense? 4 plus 3 equals 7? Yes, it does. So it does make sense. All right. So there is one rectangle on the left side right here. There are 4 squares on the right side. So the solution to the equation x plus 3 equals 7 is x equals 4 is our solution. All right, let's see if that's what they want us to do. Okay. Yes, so we're just going to continue, modeling and solving. So we have, so they want you to do it, you know, your x, 2, 3, 4, 5, equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just don't want to get into that space. I have to eliminate all the ones next to the x. I have to get rid of those. I have to isolate the variable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's left? X equals 2 is what's left. All right. Let's take a look at our notes. All right, so we have, here we go. So model and solve addition equations. So we make sure we have our x tiles, our 1 tiles. These are all the steps. You just eliminate whatever you do to one side, you do to the other, and you will find the solution. All right, good luck with your homework.